This is the legend of Titane, a half-human, half-Cadillac DeVille raised by an adoptive fireman. The story begins in an '08 Peugeot 308 with Titane's mother as a young child. She annoys and disobeys her father, who punishes her severely by swerving the car so her head smashes into the window. This is a lesson to wear your seatbelt. Alexi felt her first true love of cars after experiencing this intimate connection with the Peugeot. When she's older, she marries a 2000 Peugeot 607 and dances with other cars for money. Her Peugeot is an understanding partner and allows this. He loves her and protects her, but he doesn't make her excited like other cars do. One of these cars is a 1984 Cadillac Coupe DeVille she meets one night at work. They felt an instant connection because they're both obsessed with fire. When she gets off work, she goes back to her husband, but a man stops her before she can crank and drive home. He kisses her right there inside Peugeot. Unacceptable. She kills him to prove her love to Peugeot, then goes back inside to wash off the man's liquids that got on her. Caddy DeVille could smell her and called out to her. He begged her to come to him, but not in a desperate way, more like a demanding, sushy way. She was flattered he chose her when he could have chosen anybody. She knew they had a special connection because of the fire he wore. She should have been more careful and used protection. Caddy shot his fertile oil deep inside her, planting a seed that caused a rapid-growing pregnancy she could not stop, and would ultimately prove fatal. Her father reluctantly examines her belly, but refuses to check her womb area because he thinks his daughter is disgusting. Alexi's sad about that and kisses a girl she knows will care more about her belly. She gets very excited and bites the girl. The girl did not like being bitten. Alexi's kind of embarrassed and starts to leave, but then she feels sick and her belly feels bad and looks pregnant, so she goes back to the girl who will care about her. She kisses the girl again, and her belly starts to feel better, so she gets bored and kills the girl. Unfortunately, there are many more people in this house that she will have to kill, or else she'll always be running from the police, and that's annoying. She wasn't expecting to have to do that, but her stomach feels okay now, so she manages to kill all of them except for one. So now she's going to have to run from the police forever. The first thing she has to do is destroy the clothes that she was wearing that got everybody's blood on them. She makes a fire to do that because she loves making fires. She made a really big fire and decides that's a good idea. She should burn her whole house down so there's really no evidence left, and her mean father and her boring mother will die, and they won't be able to help the police find her. Now she needs to leave her husband too and hitchhike and take a bus out of town. I don't know why her husband Peugeot couldn't help. I guess she burned him with the dead man. Too bad she couldn't find Caddy DeVille and run off with him. But she gets an idea for getting away from the police when she's sitting in the gross bus station. There's this boy that's been missing since he was 7, and he'd be 17 now. As a fragile woman, she can make herself look like a 17-year-old boy. She cuts off her feminine hair and breaks her nose so it looks like a masculine nose. The father of the missing boy is so happy that his son has returned. He doesn't care if the DNA matches or if he's a boy or a girl or a pregnant woman. He just wants someone to be his son. He is pretty annoyed that his son won't talk to him, but he understands if the boy has been through a lot of trauma, he'll speak when he's ready. He locks his son in his old bedroom so he can't run away and washes his dirty clothes. Alexi thinks he's weird, but going with him was better than trying to take a bus or, worse yet, staying in the bus station overnight. She goes along with being his son, although she does make a run for it a couple times. She decides being his son is better than being homeless. This is the man who will come to be known as Titane's adoptive father, called Vincent. His first son died in a fire, but he refuses to believe it and continues to tell police his son is missing, always hoping he could make it come true that his son was still alive. When Alexei showed up, he knew his prayers were answered. His miracle son acts very strange, but he loves him too much to care about that. He wants to make up for the past 10 years when they were apart. He teaches Alexei how to give CPR and to be a fireman. The other firemen know that she's a pregnant woman who kills people, so that causes some strife in the team, since the father's the leader of the team and he seems to be crazy now. When Vincent's ex-wife/baby mama visits to see their missing son, he defensively tells her that she can't take him. She doesn't want him. The mom thinks he's crazy, but she's glad that this pregnant woman is pretending to be his son so someone will care about him. Alexei also likes having a dad who cares about her. Vincent explodes one of his firemen because he won't believe that this pregnant woman is his son. Vincent then goes back home and sees Alexei's large pregnant belly for the first time, but he reminds her he doesn't care who she is, so long as she is his son. The firemen have another party and force Alexei to go dance on top of a fire truck. She's really good at dancing, so she does. When the dad sees this, he doesn't feel like he's looking at his son. He's very disappointed. He goes home and sets himself on fire. Meanwhile, the party has ended, and Titane is forcing himself out of Alexei's body. She struggles back to Vincent's home to be with him, and that is how Titane enters the world. This man, who was missing a son, now has a son again because he accepted a pregnant woman as his son.